A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Ever told. Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. Tonight we present Give Us This Day, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. In the town of Tiberius this day, there is uneasiness among the people. Even the donkeys and camels in the marketplace act strangely, rearing up suddenly as though frightened by menacing sounds. Yet no one hears those sounds. Rather is everyone quiet, fearful, waiting, and watching. And in the small place of the merchant Boaz, there is an attempt to carry on business as usual, but only an attempt. For even now, Nathan, a clerk, stands beside Boaz, listening to him, but not hearing what he says.
And after that, Nathan, we shall take an accounting of every coin Samuel owes me. Credits run too thin with me.
Yes, sir?
Yes, sir, what?
What, sir? What did you say?
I should have known you weren't listening.
I'm sorry, Boaz.
Man's paid to keep his mind on business in this place. What's wrong with you today, Nathan?
I don't know, sir. Just a feeling. Don't you sense it?
What's the matter with everyone today?
I don't know. It's strange, though. For example, this is the first day I can ever remember that no caravan, not even a single traveler, has come into Tiberius from the south. I wonder why.
Who knows? Anyhow, it doesn't prove anything. Certainly it's no cause for alarm. Nonsense, that's all.
Well, then out in the marketplace, why are the camels and the donkeys frightened? Rear up suddenly, terror-stricken. Whatever it is, it's no good. No good at all.
You keep saying it's no good. What's no good?
I don't know, sir. It's just... I'm frightened, sir. Frightened.
No, it's trembling.
Please, I'd like to go home. There's going to be trouble. I want to be with my wife and children. They'll need me.
Trouble, nonsense. Get along home. You're no good here in the state you're in. Get along. Mind you, you'll be early tomorrow. We'll have much work to make up.
Abigail, are you all right? Safe?
Yes, Nathan. But what are you doing home this time of day? Why that worried look?
I hurried as fast as I could. I wanted to make sure you and the children were safe.
We are. And yet it's strange. I was worrying about you.
You were?
Yes. There's an awful feeling in the town. Dogs slink along the street as though they were afraid. And then suddenly they raise their heads and bay at the sky.
Is that why you were standing in the doorway watching?
Yes. Something will happen. I feel it.
Where are the children?
Inside. I've kept them there because I am afraid.
Then come in. We should bolt the door. Do something to protect ourselves.
Protect ourselves from what? If only we knew we could take steps. But as it is, we'll need help from another source.
You're right. Come, the children and us, we'll all pray and trust our prayers to help ward off this evil, whatever it be. Come. I'd better lock the door in any event. Jonathan, Esther, quickly.
Yes, Father. What is it? Father? Oh, so early and no holiday?
Yes. Now, this is no time for questions. We shall kneel, all of us. And I shall say a prayer. Come now, Neil.
Yes, Father.
If the words would only come. How can I pray about something I can't even feel sure of?
Nathan.
Yes, dear?
Do we need any other words than those we heard the Master speak?
Of course not, Abigail. Children, remember that day we heard the Master speak as he stood on the mount, and he spoke to us of prayer and the manner of praying. We shall say that prayer now, all of us. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins. I feel better now, Abigail.
Yes, there's comfort in the words, and in the belief in the words.
Now maybe I'd best open the door. There's no danger yet.
Of course, open the door. Shall we huddle here in fear of a danger that may never come?
You're right.
Oh, that breath of cool air feels good.
Abigail.
What is it, Nathan?
Is the day over so soon? Is it time for darkness yet?
Darkness? So early in the afternoon?
Well, look. Off there, a cloud that moves slowly and yet seems to fill the sky and blot out the sun, leaving nothing but blackness in its path.
It must be a storm cloud.
A storm cloud would bring flashes of lightning with it, rumbling of thunder. There's none of that.
No, there isn't. What could it be?
I don't know. Wait, listen to it.
I hear it. But I don't know what it is. I've never heard such a sound before. Lock the door quickly.
Not till I know what it is. I must see.
It's moving more swiftly now. Coming closer all the time.
Yes. Listen. Don't you know now what it is?
No.
Locusts. A cloud of locusts.
Nathan, what can we do?
Nothing but close the door and let them sweep over the house. Quickly, Abigail, quickly.
Father, what is it? What's wrong? What's that noise?
Jonathan, you must help me. Abigail, you keep Esther with you. Keep her from being frightened if you can. Now, son, you and I will have much to do. As they come swarming down on the house, they'll come through every small opening they can find. Under the doors, through any crack or crevice. We must destroy them as fast as they come in.
Yes, Father.
Listen to them. Here they come. Look, Abigail.
Oh, Nathan. Is that the field we've looked at so many years? Off there. Is that the orchard that belongs to Benjamin?
Yes. Look at it.
Picked clean. The branches are like skeletons. Bare and bleached in the sun. The field flattened as though an army had marched across it.
An army of locusts. Far more devastating than an army of men could be. Look, all around you, nothing left. In such a little time. They've come and gone and there's nothing left. Nothing.
Oh, Nathan.
Now, Abigail, it isn't the end of the world. Don't you worry. We'll be all right. Don't worry.
Well, Nathan, you were right yesterday. And I thought you were a fool. Man. But you were right.
Did you see them, Boaz? Hear them?
I'll never forget it.
Even so, we're better off than most. You're not a farmer whose crops have been picked clean, and I don't have to harvest crops for a livelihood. At least we weren't affected as much as the others.
I'm glad you brought it up, Nathan. It saves me a painful job in opening the subject.
What do you mean, Boaz?
Well, it will be a bad year. No crops harvested hereabout means bad times for everyone.
I see. And does that mean that I...
It would have. Except there is one fortunate circumstance. You see, Nathan? You see that, won't you?
Yes, sir.
Now, as I was saying, you see, there's only one man hereabout who could withstand such a catastrophe as this and still remain prosperous.
You mean Matthias?
Exactly. Now, it happens that only 5 days before the locusts swarmed over town, Matthias was here to see me.
Yes, I remember seeing him come in.
Good. Now, on that day in this very room, he and I made a bargain which would be very profitable to me now. Would, in fact, allow me to have you continue in my employ.
Then there's nothing for me to worry about.
There could very well be. If Matthias were to deny having made the agreement with me.
An honorable man like Matthias?
You're forgetting one thing. In time of stress, men do strange things. He might want to say now that he never made the bargain with me. That's why you have to say that you were listening outside the door when Matthias and I talked.
I? Outside the door? But that wouldn't be true.
Come, Nathan, you're no youth with innocent notions about the world. You're a man with a wife and 2 children dependent upon you. You have to be practical about this.
How could I say I heard the conversation when I didn't?
Come to the door, Nathan. I want to show you something. There. Look into the marketplace. Listen. What do you hear?
Nothing, of course.
Exactly. The place is desolate and deserted. No one's at work because there's nothing to do. Yes, there'll be many who'll starve in this town till another harvest comes.
Yes.
So think about your lovely wife, your fine children. Then see if you can't remember overhearing the conversation I had with Matthias. Nathan?
And then, Father, we went out into the fields, all the boys. We tried to find something, anything, but there was nothing, except one single stalk of barley, broken and lying beside a small stone. And it was uneaten by the locusts. Why, Father? Why did they leave that one stalk uneaten? Because the stone shielded it? Is that why?
I'm sure I don't know, Jonathan.
Of course, Father. How would anyone know what makes locusts leave one single stalk?
Where are you going?
Outside. Just outside.
What's the matter with that lad?
It might not be the boy.
What do you mean by that, Abigail?
The last few days, I've been noticing you're different, Nathan. Something's happened. What?
Nothing.
It wouldn't be a small matter that would make you shout at your own son. Not you.
A man must worry from time to time. It's nothing that won't pass.
That's an answer for strangers, Nathan. Not for your wife. Tell me.
Abigail, people will go hungry here for a long time.
Well, then we'll share whatever we can with them. But what troubles you is more than that.
Well, trade has fallen off to nothing.
It's your position with Boaz, isn't it? You've lost it.
No, but I almost wish I had.
What do you mean?
Believe me, it would be easier to lose it than to make the choice that confronts me now.
Choice?
I can lose my position, or else I must swear to something that isn't the truth.
How could you swear to something that isn't the truth?
I don't know. But when I look around me, when I see the marketplace empty, the looks on the faces of hungry people, it's as though the whole town died in an hour. The hour it took those locusts to swarm over this place. When I see that, I have to ask, shall I condemn our children to starve too?
But to swear to an untruth. Nathan, you can't do it.
Oh, I don't know. You wonder if any man can be honest in such a time as this.
You can't.
It's starvation.
I don't care.
But I do. I tell you that...
Isn't it time to... Oh, I'm sorry. That's all right. Your father and I were talking. But now, what did you want?
Jonathan and I, we're hungry. Isn't it time for the evening meal yet?
Yes, dear, very soon. The bread is almost baked and the broth is simmering. Very soon. Now leave your father and me alone for a moment.
Yes, Mother, but don't forget, we're hungry.
Abigail, what if you just had to say, there is no bread in the oven? The broth pot is cold and empty. Could you say that to them?
Nathan, there are worse things to say to children.
Yes, I know what you mean. Steal it.
We can talk about it later. Now we must have the evening meal. The children are hungry. Come, Nathan. There now, the broth.
Oh, Mother, it smells so good.
Now wait, Jonathan. Before we begin to eat, your father will say a prayer.
Prayer, Abigail? Oh, yes. Dear God, we thank you for... Oh, we thank you.
Nathan, what is it?
I can't.
You can't. You will, Nathan.
There are no words I can find.
There are. The words the Master gave us.
His prayer?
Yes, Nathan. If you wish, I'd say it with you.
I can say it alone. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our day. Give us this day.
Nathan.
I can't say it. Don't look at me that way. It's mockery. How can I ask God to provide our daily needs when at the same moment I'm thinking of throwing them away in one bold act?
Mother! My dear. Now then. Nathan, look at me.
Yes, Abigail.
Did you think you were asking God for your daily bread?
Why else the prayer, then?
Nathan, don't you remember what the Master said before he instructed us in the prayer?
Before the prayer?
Don't you remember? The very words which preceded his instruction in the prayer. Surely you must remember those words.
When ye pray, use not vain repetitions, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him.
Yes, I heard those words. I remember now.
Then you must know that when we say, give us this day our daily bread, we remind not God, who needs no reminder, but ourselves. Yes, we remind ourselves of the source of our bread and our livelihood. It comes from his earth and from his goodness, and not from any one man or any one thing.
I wish I could feel as sure as you do.
Please, Nathan, believe. Try to say the prayer once more.
I'll try.
We'll help you, Nathan. We'll all say it together. Come, children.
Someone at the door. This time? Wait, I know. It must be Boaz, and I think I know why. He's come to find out what I'll do.
If it is, you must face it.
No, Abigail, not yet. I'm not sure.
I'll go.
No, Abigail, please.
I must, Nathan. Boaz, if you come... Oh.
I'm sorry, woman. Very sorry to interrupt your family at mealtime, but I must see your husband.
Me? You wish to...
Yes.
Oh, it's you, Matthias.
Yes, it's I. Nathan, I must talk to you.
I don't want to talk, Matthias. Not to you or anyone.
You must. Boaz tells me that I am bound to an agreement with him. I never made such an agreement.
Well, then why talk to me? I'm only a clerk.
Nathan, I want you to come with me to face Boaz. I want to know once and for all if you will swear to this thing that never happened.
Please, Matthias, I'm a simple man who has to worry about his family and keeping them fed and alive. Don't make me do anything I'll regret, one way or the other.
Would I insist if it weren't a vital matter with me, too? This can ruin me.
Nathan, Matthias is right. You must go with him. Now is the time you must decide.
All right. I'll go, but heaven help me for what I must do now.
Well, Matthias, I can see you didn't believe me. You had to drag my clerk here to hear it for yourself. Well?
What are you trying to do to me, Boaz? Because I've prospered, you're seeking to evade hard times by taking money from me under the pretense of this false bargain. You ruined me.
I only want what's coming to me, Matthias.
There is no bargain. There never was.
The courts can decide that. I don't mind. After all, I have my witness. Right, Nathan?
Boaz, please,
What does that mean, Nathan?
Boaz, don't make me do it.
Now, see here, Nathan. Just you remember that if you desert me now, your family will never get another mouthful of bread from me.
All right, Boaz. All right.
Matthias? There. I guess you can see now that you won't stand much chance.
Wait, Boaz, wait.
What's the matter with you, Nathan?
No, I couldn't do it. No matter what the consequences, I couldn't swear to a falsehood.
Nathan, remember what
I know what you said. I know it pretty well. My bread, there won't be any more for the children, for Abigail. Well, Boaz, I know now for the first time what my wife was trying to tell me. My bread doesn't come from you.
Mind what you say, young man.
You doling out bread, holding the power of life or death. Oh, no. My bread comes from a source far greater than any man. From one who has enabled me to earn my bread till now, and who knows that my children need food to live on. There's a great deal of comfort in knowing that, and courage, too. Courage enough to be able to stand up to you and say, I won't do this evil thing you ask.
Nathan?
No, Boaz, no. Threats won't change my mind. I'm not afraid to be honest now. No, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear any agreement. All I know is that I was asked to swear to a lie. That much I'll say to any judge. Matthias, you don't have to worry. And that's what happened, Abigail. So there'll be no bread in this house that's soured and tainted by false oaths.
I'm glad, Nathan. Glad you found the courage to do it.
I, too. But when the children began to cry for food, I wondered.
Please, Nathan.
I'll see who it is. Yes? Whom do you want to see?
Are you, Nathan, the man who till recently was clerk to the merchant Boaz?
Yes, sir.
So you're the man.
What do you want with me?
My name is Silas, merchant of Jezreel. I have heard about the plague of locusts here, and I know there'll be hunger and starvation. So I have organized a caravan of many merchants from Jezreel and other towns in Galilee. We'll be bringing flour and grain and other food here. And we're willing to wait for payment till this town is on its feet again.
You're going to do that? You don't know what it'll mean to us.
I said to myself, who knows? The same thing might happen one day to Jezreel. Then we'll need help ourselves. But now I need a man I can trust to receive all these goods here. I need an honest man. That's how I come to be searching for you, Nathan. The merchant Matthias told me about you.
Matthias? Oh.
And when I heard Matthias' story, I thought, a man who can be honest in the face of such a threat to the safety of his own children, such a man would be honest in the face of anything. He's the man I want to be overseer in charge of all goods our caravan brings here to Tiberius.
Overseer in full charge? I'm only a clerk, sir.
And a good one. An honest one. And that's all I ask. Now, tomorrow you shall find and clear space in the marketplace to await our produce. Shall I expect you there in the morning?
Of course, Silas. I'll be there.
Good. Now I must hurry. There's a great deal yet to arrange. A great deal. Good day to you, Nathan. And to you, woman.
Abigail. I don't know what to say.
Because we weren't able to divine what God could do.
It is strange. First the locusts attacked us. Almost made me give way to false swearing to make sure of food for you and the children. Yet now, because of them, I have the greatest opportunity of my life. Strange how it all worked out.
Maybe it was meant to teach us, Nathan. To show us that there is courage for the Spirit in following His words and His way.
Yes, I know now that no one is dependent upon any one man for his daily bread, but upon God, from the way in which God arranges things and provides opportunity for all of us to live. If you know that, you'll have courage to face life and all its uncertainties and temptations.
Yes, Nathan. So it is not God, but ourselves we remind when we say, give us this day our daily bread. For he knows our needs, even as the Master told us.
When ye pray, use not vain repetitions, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of, before ye ask him.
You have been listening to Give Us This Day, another episode in the greatest story ever told, from the greatest life ever lived.
The greatest story ever told.
Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Tonight we present The House in Darkness, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. The dead of night, and nothing stirs in the town of Jezreel in Galilee. The sentry drowses at the town gate. The whole town is quiet and peaceful. And yet in one house, the largest house in town, a figure moves stealthily in the darkness. A hand reaches out toward the heavy iron handle of the door. The bolt is slipped. The sound echoes in the house. The housekeeper in her bed stirs suddenly in fearful waking. She leaps up and starts from her room out to the great hall. From there she sees the stealthy figure at the door. Conquering her fright, the woman calls out,
Who is it? Who's there? Speak, who are you? Who are you? What do you want in here?
Yes, Zara. It's I. You spy on me all the time.
Mistress, you leave here in the middle of the night? Why? Where do you go?
Please, Zara, no questions.
But you know you have not been feeling well ever since your son, the young master of this house, died. You can't go out at this time of night.
I am going.
But where? Why? Won't you tell me? Haven't I been servant to you since I was a mere girl, and then your housekeeper for so long a time? Can't you confide even in me?
If I could tell anyone.
Please, mistress, you can tell me.
Zara, I go from here to the town gate. If the sentry is drowsing, I can slip through the gate and away from the town unseen.
But why?
There is a cave in the hills outside the town. There is a witch living there.
A witch? Mistress, it is forbidden for 1,000 years. Our law has forbidden it.
And if it has, King Saul himself went once to see a witch at Endor in time of trouble. It is so, even in the scriptures. I am going.
But if you are caught...
I don't care. If it will enable me to see my son again.
Mistress, what are you saying? See your son again? 2 years dead, 2 years. Oh, mistress, what are you saying?
The witch in the hills has promised. With her herbs and her strange powers, she can do it. I'll see him again. Hear him again.
No, mistress, it cannot be. It isn't possible.
It is. I shall see him again. My son. My son.
No, please, no.
You can say no. You are not a mother who has lost her only child. You don't know what it means. The heartbreak. The emptiness, the nothingness which remains. No, you were never a mother. I am going.
All right, mistress, if you insist on going. But at least let me go with you. Let me go along to protect you.
If you wish, Zara. But you must promise never to mention this to anyone. This is the cave, Zara. You will wait out here.
Is it safe for you in there?
You must wait here. I have promised her I would never bring anyone with me.
All right, mistress.
I will wait out here for you. Woman, I am here again.
Ah, it is you, Rebecca.
Yes. This time will there be some sign of my son? Some sight or sound of him?
Perhaps. This time. Sit here.
Yes.
Ah, good. Now, you brought the silver to influence the spirits.
Yes. This time even more. I want to be sure this time.
Place it here on the stone of the spirits.
This time, will I have some word or sign of Absalom?
You must be quiet, else how can I tempt the mysterious spirits to accept the silver? Perhaps this time I see. Wait, I must. No, not this time.
Oh, but you said.
I said I would try. This time word of him was closer than ever before. Next time it will be closer still. Soon. So you must come here again. Night after next.
Yes.
Tonight there was some disturbing thing. You will come here again and bring more silver. Promise?
Yes, I promise. Anything at all to see my son again.
Now, mistress, to your bed and rest.
Rest. Zara, you shouldn't have come with me.
Well, what is it, mistress? I did nothing. I did as you told me.
It's your fault I didn't see him. It's just come to me. What she said about a disturbing influence. You were there. It was your fault.
No, mistress, please. You cannot see him again. Never. The dead are dead.
Don't say that.
I speak only for your own good. Absalom was a fine young man. But he is dead. You must know that and go on to live your life among the living. Instead, you have made this house a tomb. You have made his room a dark place for brooding where no one but yourself is allowed. You cannot go on like that, mistress. You can't.
Zara, you will leave this house forever.
Mistress, you say that to me?
Yes. I see now by the way you talk that you're as cruel and heartless as the rest of them, who would want me to forget that my son never lived.
Forget him? Could I forget his gentleness towards others? His kindness? This house open to all who needed help. This house should be that way again.
Never. I must live alone and in darkness the rest of my days. I have no life without him. But, Zara, I spoke too hastily. You won't leave me, will you?
No, mistress. I shall forget your words spoken in anger. Now let me help you to your bed.
Yes, Zara. Please do that. Zara? Zara? Zara, where are you?
Mistress, did I hear you call?
Yes. Where have you been all day?
Don't you remember? This is the day I spoke of, when I was to go to hear the master. You said that I could.
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember. Well, did you see him? Hear him?
Yes. Yes, mistress, I did. And what a wonderful sight it was. So many more people were there to hear him than ever before. And as he spoke to us, you could feel a peace and tranquility settle on everyone. The wrongdoers repentant, the overburdened uplifted, even the mournful comforted.
Zara, what are you trying to say?
That you might come with me.
I never go out during the day, you know that.
Yes, I know. That's one reason I did what I did.
What?
Well, at the end of the teaching, great black clouds began to gather. A storm. It will break very soon.
You said you did something.
Yes. The master and his close followers, the apostles, they have no place of shelter traveling as they do from town to town. And with all the room we had here in this great empty house, I thought we could give them shelter against the storm this night. So I asked them to come here.
It will not happen. Not in this house.
No, please, mistress. I've already asked them. We can't turn them away now. Surely you wouldn't close your door against the master.
They will not enter here.
Please, mistress, I will give up my food and my plate.
There will be voices of men. There will be lamps lit and feasting. They might even wander into his room. That can never be. No one goes into that room. No one but me. It was Absalom. It will never be anyone's else.
They needn't see the room, even know of it. Though such a room could shelter many men in a storm.
No, Zara.
Please, mistress, you heard the storm is broken.
No, Zara. You will tell them that...
Let's stay at the door now, please, mistress.
No.
Please, if I mean anything to you at all, do this, just this once. Don't shame me so before the master.
Go, Zara. Tell them they shall not enter this house.
Oh, mistress, if only you would...
Go, Zara.
Yes, I shall go. Master. And Peter, John, Thomas.
Yes, we're here. May we come in?
Peter,
My dear, what is it? Why do you cry?
Oh, Master. How can I tell you of my shame at this moment? How can I?
My good woman, what is it? Can we help?
Peter, none of you may enter here.
We may not enter this house?
That's right.
And when I asked you, when I offered, I thought it would be possible. Thought it would be a good thing for my mistress, too. But she has forbidden me. And now you must wander the night with the rest.
Please, woman, don't cry. This won't be the first night we've faced rain or cold.
But the master... Oh, master, your cloak wet through. Master, if I could, I would throw wide the door. But it is forbidden me.
Forbidden?
By my mistress, a woman steeped in the mourning for a son dead some 2 years. This house is like his tomb. No one is allowed here, no one. She has turned from the world, so the charity and the kindness that are in her hands to do, she does not. Master, even though she turns you away at this moment, she needs you more than anyone ever did.
Master, surely you have some word to help this woman.
Let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of God.
Yes, Master. I will remember those words. I shall try to carry them to my mistress and open her heart, Master.
Well, Zara, why do you stand there and stare at me? You still haven't forgiven me for what I did, have you?
It is not my place to forgive, mistress.
Well, then don't stare at me that way. It's been almost a month since it happened anyhow.
Yes, mistress. But there is something else.
I do not want to hear the master's words again.
No, mistress. This is something else. The serving woman, Miriam, of the household of Simon, she is dead.
Why do you bring me news of every death that happens in this town? You think it can make my grieving for my son less to know that others die, too? Well, it can't.
I didn't mean to upset you, mistress. That's why I found it so difficult to mention. Miriam left a child. The child is without family now, so I thought that if you were to give me permission, I should take the child in to live here.
A child? In this house?
Why not, mistress? The laughter of a child would mean so much in this empty place.
Wouldn't it, though? Mistress, the laughter of a child, intruding on my thoughts of my son. There will be no child in this house.
But, mistress...
Don't you see what could happen? That child wandering loose around here. She might even get into his room. She might even touch some of his things.
But, mistress, if the child were kept to one room...
No, I don't want her here. I don't even want to see her.
And if you never did see her, if I were to take her into my room, she would eat with me in the kitchen. She would never be permitted to come into this part of the house. You will never even know that she is here.
Well, if I never know.
No.
If she doesn't make a sound or do a thing to disturb me.
No, never.
All right. You may take her in, Zara.
Oh, thank you, mistress. Thank you.
You needn't thank me. Only make sure that the child and I never meet. That I never hear her. That's all.
Here, Rhoda. This is the place.
This kitchen. So much larger even than the one in Simon's house.
Yes, this is a larger house.
Oh, I would like to see the great hall. There must be room there for hundreds of people as feasts.
Now, Rhoda, listen to me. You are never to go any further into this house than here. This kitchen and that room there, which is mine, and that's all. You must forget there is any more to this house.
But why?
You must forget it, else you'll have to leave here.
You don't like me. You don't really want me here, do you?
Oh, of course I like you, child. And I do want you here. But the mistress of this house, she is a bitter woman. And because she still mourns her son, she wrongs the whole world and everyone about her. I suffer. Even the master was made to wander the streets in a torrent of rain. Now you will suffer in a way, too. You must be restricted to these 2 rooms.
A whole great empty house?
Now, please, child, do as I say.
Yes, Sarah.
From now on, Rhoda, these 2 rooms shall be your home.
Dara, I've been waiting for you to come out of the kitchen.
Yes, mistress.
The child is here, isn't she?
More than a week, mistress. You see, I told you she'd be so quiet you wouldn't even know she was here. I told you.
Quite so. Insofar as noise is concerned.
What does that mean?
At his place at the table in the great dining hall.
Well?
That dish which was his favorite. It was never to be moved.
I know.
It has been moved.
Oh, no.
It has been moved.
No.
Did you move it? And neither did I. That child has been in here. In this part of the house.
But I don't understand. I told her.
That's what I meant about children. They promise to be good, but then somehow they always forget their promises. That's why I never wanted that child here in the first place.
Mistress, I shall talk to her. If it did happen, I shall see that it never happens again.
If it does happen again, the child goes. And you, too. Remember that.
And she said you must have been out there. Must have touched that dish that was her son's favorite. Now tell me, Rhoda, did you? Did you? Oh, my child, don't cry. I won't punish you. Not if you tell me the truth.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't. I kept thinking about the great hall and how it would look. So beautiful. And the more I thought about it, the more it seemed a wonderful thing to see. Until I couldn't stand it any longer. I had to see it. I had to.
And then you slipped into the room and saw the dish and touched it.
Yes, Sarah. It was so nice. I just wanted to touch it. I did. Maybe I moved it, but only a little. Only a little.
She has sat at that table every meal since her son died and kept her eyes on that dish all the time. She would notice even the slightest move.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
Rhoda, it must never happen again. Never again. Else neither of us will have a home any longer. Do you understand?
Rhoda, I've just come from the market and... Rhoda? Are you in here? Rhoda!
Oh, no, she hasn't. Not again. Oh, no.
Rhoda! Dara? What is it? What's wrong?
Mistress.
What is it? Why do you look that way?
It's nothing.
You called the child, didn't you?
Yes,
She isn't in there in the kitchen, is she?
Mistress, please.
She's come into this part of the house, hasn't she? She's done it again.
Well, maybe not. Maybe she's outside playing in the oven. Maybe
the child's in here. You fear it, and you know it. But this time she's not in the great hall, for I was in there only a moment ago myself. She must be upstairs, in the other room. Maybe even in his room.
Oh, no.
I shall see at once.
No, mistress, please don't.
I am going up to see.
No, mistress, no, please. Please, let me fetch her down here, please.
No,
Mistress, don't do it. Don't be angry with the child, please. I beg of you, don't do it, mistress.
I shall see for myself. Heaven help that child if she's in that room. Now, I shall see.
Mistress, no.
Dara, you have your hand on my arm. Please, take your hand away. Now. So you are in here. And what is that you have in your hand?
It's a toy.
One of his playthings.
I'm sorry.
My son's room. His thing. You have desecrated this place. Why? Why don't people leave me to my own sorrow? Why do they seek to reach into me and tear out my very heart? Why do... A child. Here in this room where he was a child. And weeping, too. Don't cry, child, don't cry.
I can't help it.
I can't bear to hear the crying of children. Just get out of here, out of this room.
But it's such a nice room. And the toys here are such nice toys. Is it wrong for children to play with?
Oh, be quiet.
What are toys for if not for children to play with? It isn't fair to keep them shut up in this dark, empty room.
Child. Here. Look at me. Come, let me see your face.
No, let me go.
Look at me. And say what you said. Say it once more.
What do you mean?
Toys are for children to play with. And this room, look at it. Dark and empty. But it used to be bright and filled with laughter. The laughter of a happy child. How much better that was than this. Child.
Yes?
These toys. This one you held in your hand. Would it make you happy to have it?
Why, yes, it was. It was.
Then have it. Have them all. All.
What did you say?
Mistress, did you mean it?
Yes, Zara, I meant it. And Zara, draw back the hangings that shut the light out of this room. Draw them back.
Yes, mistress. Yes, I shall draw them back. There.
Light. Sunlight. For the first time since that day. Since the day he died in this room. Oh, the light is good in here. Child, let me see your face. I've never seen it before, you know.
Yes, mistress.
A sweet face. And good, too. And you are so innocently wise, my child. Yes, toys are for children to play with. And a house is for people to live in. This home will be like that from now on, Zara.
Oh, yes, mistress.
No more darkness. No deathless silence here any longer. But people and the sounds of life, voices and laughter, even tears. All of them are sounds of life. The world has not died. Only my son has died. I know that now. Child.
Yes?
This was a child's room once. And it will be that again. This shall be your room from now on.
Thank you.
Oh, mistress, bless you.
Zara, now I realize the harm I've done to you. And what I did to the master, turning him away into the storm. And then to this child. Everyone suffered because I gave myself to selfish and destructive grief for far too long a time. Now I shall turn from grief and follow the master's way. This house, Zara, and my life from now on are dedicated to the living. No one in need shall be turned away ever again. My son would have liked it that way. And that way I shall follow the master's words.
Let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of God.
Amen.
You have been listening to The House in Darkness, another episode in the greatest story ever told, from the greatest life ever lived.
The greatest story ever told.
Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Tonight we present The Figure at the Door, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. In the town of Gabara in Galilee, two men stand watch a safe distance away from a great house. Their eyes are fixed on the door of that house, and suddenly it is opened. A face peers out, and then the door is shut instantly. One of the two watching men says to the other,
There, Malachi. You see?
Yes, sir. It was Simeon's servant who opened the door and peered out.
Exactly. And did you notice how furtively it was done?
Yes, I noticed that.
Good. That was all I wanted. Someone else to watch and see, and confirm my feeling about this thing. Now come. We shall go back to the marketplace.
Yes,
Come along.
Sir, if I might ask, why did you take me from my work to have me stand there and watch Simeon's house with you?
Because I had to make sure. Now that I am sure, the whole thing is quite clear to me.
What thing?
You couldn't figure it out, could you? But I have.
What, sir?
It occurred to me almost 2 weeks ago. That's the day the caravan arrived from Egypt. Usually Simeon would be down there in the marketplace trying to buy the best of everything, bidding against me. But he wasn't. I marked that fact. Then I began watching and thinking. I haven't seen Simeon since then. Have you?
No, sir.
Well, then I asked myself, why? Why is he never seen any more? You know as well as I that Simeon is the kind of man who likes to strut in public, who likes to appear in better garments than those I wear.
It's true he's vain. True, too, that he vies with you for public attention and favor.
Well, that makes the mystery all the more baffling. Why should such a man not appear in public for 2 whole weeks?
Perhaps he's ill, sir.
Then why should his illness be kept a secret? Unless my good friend Simeon has fallen victim to leprosy.
What?
Yes, Malachi, I'm sure of it. I'm sure Simeon is a victim of leprosy and is hiding in his own home, cared for by his own loyal servant, so no one else will discover it.
If it's true, it's too bad, sir. Too bad.
I don't know about that.
Sir, what do you mean?
Well, once and for all, it will settle the question of who is the leading citizen in this town. Once this is known, he'll be forced to leave here and wander the roads like all the other lepers. Then only one man will be spoken of as great here in Gabara. That will be me.
Sir, might I
Quiet,
suggest...
Malachi. Let me think. Now, we can do something about Simeon. We can tell the town authorities. They'd drag him out. They'd expel him from the town. Yes. I'll talk to them.
Please, sir, don't do it.
And why not?
In the first place, it might not be true. And in the second place, if it is true, then Simeon needs help, not expulsion from the town.
You would say that. Too soft. That's your trouble, Malachi.
At least promise me not to do it for several days.
Several days? Why? What difference would it make?
Sir, the thing I mention now may not seem connected with this, but it is. And I was going to speak to you about it today in any event, so now is a good time.
Good time for what?
Ethan, could you advance to me some of the money I shall earn in the next few weeks?
An advance of money? You, Malachi? I've never heard you ask for that before.
No, sir. I'm an old man. I live alone. My needs are simple, but
This time I do need money.
Of course you shall have it, Malachi.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Wait. You've aroused my curiosity. Why do you need it?
But, sir, the master will be coming here to Gabara again. It is the first time in a long time, and it would be the greatest moment of my life should he and his apostles deign to come to my house to have the evening meal, and even spend the night. Surely nothing could ever happen to me that would be greater than that.
I see. Malachi, tell me, this master, he seems to be gaining in popularity all the time, doesn't he?
If you're trying to say, sir, that more people follow his way, yes, they do.
It's a thought. Very interesting thought.
Sir?
Nothing, Malachi. Nothing for you to worry about.
I shall have the money, though.
Yes, you shall have the money. Tomorrow. Remind me of it tomorrow, Malachi.
Sir. Ethan.
Huh? Oh, Malachi. Well, what is it this time? Something you've come across in the marketplace?
No, sir. Just that the day is almost over, and you've said nothing about what we talked of yesterday.
Oh, you mean the money?
Yes, sir. The way you've been wrapped in thought all day, I don't wonder you forgot. Is something troubling you, sir?
Malachi, do you believe in dreams?
Dreams? Oh, what do you mean? Do I believe?
Can a dream mean anything? Oh, I know there are stories in the scriptures about dreams, Pharaoh's dreams, others. But could a dream of great meaning happen to me? Could it?
Who knows where dreams come from?
But the meaning of a dream. How does one determine that?
I don't know.
It was the strangest kind of dream. I was in my home. It was night. I was alone. And there came a knock on the door. I went to answer. I called out, "Enter."
And the door opened?
No. The door didn't open. Suddenly, I could see through the door, as though it had become transparent. There stood a man there, in a long robe, covered with dust as though he'd traveled far. I could see him, but he couldn't see me, and I could see his face clearly. It was a kind face, with deep and gentle eyes. Then I saw him knock on the door again. Again I called out to him, "Enter." But he looked at the door, and then began to walk away slowly, sorrowfully. What could such a dream mean?
I don't know, sir.
I've had dreams that come and are forgotten with the light of day. But this one, it troubled me, awoke me, had been with me all day. Well, it's no worry of yours. Now then, what were you asking?
The advance of money, Ethan.
Oh, yes. Tell me, Malachi, would you insist on having the master at your home?
Insist? Of course not. I could only invite him to share what I have. One doesn't insist, not with him.
I didn't mean that. I mean, suppose you didn't invite him.
Oh, but I must. I'm an old man. I may not be here the next time the master comes to Gabara. So that I must invite him this time, else it may never be.
If it was a matter of doing him honor, could be arranged in another way.
How, sir?
Suppose that there were a great feast in my house, and the master and the apostles you spoke of were invited there. You would be there, too. You could honor him in that way.
You would invite the master to your house?
Why not? Think how it would enhance my standing in this town, now that he has come to be accepted by so many. You know, I'll even invite Simeon. Perhaps when he fails to appear, it will cause others to ask the same question I asked. Perhaps that's a way of bringing his condition to light without even saying a word to anyone.
Please, sir, you don't understand. One doesn't act in that fashion toward the master.
Malachi, I shall invite the master. I shall have a huge feast. Everyone will be there. You too.
No, sir.
Malachi.
I couldn't be there. I couldn't be witness to what you propose to do.
I see. You realize, of course, that the advance of money you requested will not be forthcoming.
I realize that now.
However, I will not withdraw my invitation. You are still welcome to pay honor to the master at my house. At a great feast.
I understand, sir.
Ethan, is there anything else you wish to have done about the feast? Ethan?
Oh, what is it, my dear?
I was talking about the feast, but it seems you have something else on your mind.
No, it's nothing.
Ethan, last night as you slept, did you dream?
What makes you ask that, Ruth?
You called out. Not once, but several times.
I called out?
Yes, dear. You kept calling, enter, come in, the door is open. Such things as that. First you spoke softly, then your calls became angry, and finally frantic.
I see.
If there's something troubling you, you could tell me.
Oh, it's only a dream. I've had it once before. It means nothing.
Surely if it meant nothing, it wouldn't have disturbed you so.
I tell you it means nothing. Now, the final plans for the feast. Of food there must be plenty. More than enough to satisfy everyone who will be here. And did you dispatch the servant to extend a special invitation to Simeon?
Yes, but I wondered. Ethan, why do you invite Simeon this time? Ordinarily, you don't like to have him here. I don't understand.
Because I invite him doesn't mean he'll be here. As a matter of fact, that might be just the reason I did invite him.
That's a very curious thing.
You see, it works even with you. Right now, this moment, you're wondering why Simeon won't be here, even though I invited him. Admit it, you are.
Yes? Now tell me what this is all about.
You'll find out in time, my dear, in time. Yes, it's perfect. And now about the seating arrangements for the feast. Simeon shall have a place of honor close by the master. After all, the more people's eyes dwell on the empty seat, the more their minds will question why Simeon isn't here. So remember, Simeon's place shall be one on the side of the master, and I will sit on the other. Who could that? Oh, wait, I know. I dispatched the boys at the town gate to wait till the master and his friends arrived. Must be the boy. Come in. Well, Reuben, did you see him? Who is this man with you, Reuben?
Sir, he is one of the master's closest friends. I asked him to come with me to hear the invitation from you yourself. His name, sir, is Peter.
Peter, eh? Welcome to my house. Ethan is my name.
God be with you, Ethan. Now, what was it this very excited lad tried to tell me? He was so excited I could almost see his heart pounding in his chest.
It's good you came. You can see for yourself that this is one of the finest homes in Gabara. Perhaps then my invitation will mean more to you. I should like to invite your master and all his apostles to feast with me here this evening, and to spend the night.
It's very kind of you to invite us, sir. Wandering the country as we do, we have a high regard for warm and friendly hospitality.
Ethan's house is open to all who need shelter.
Thank you. Now I must go.
But wait, I must have an answer from you.
I shall take your invitation to the master. Have no fear of that.
Then he will be here.
I can only take your message to him. He shall decide.
I see.
Now, may I leave?
Of course. Strange man. I don't know if I like him.
But why? He seemed a kind man with a good, strong, honest face.
Oh, it wasn't his face. It was his bearing, his attitude. I don't know.
You expected that he'd bow and scrape and show you great respect for having invited the master here. Is that it?
Now, Ruth, don't judge me. Just do as I say. Preparations will go forward.
Even though you've had no answer yet?
The master will be here. They'll all be here. Where else in this town could they be so well fed? The feast will be held, and they will be here. Yes, David, you and your wife must enjoy this evening. That's why I invited you here. It must be an evening to remember. Poor Ethan. That's right. Mingle with all the guests. Till the guest of honor arrives. I'll see you later. Ruth.
Yes, dear.
Have you been to the front door again?
Yes, Ethan.
No sign of the master? No sign of any of his followers?
No, Ethan.
Not even that one, Peter?
None of them.
Can't understand it. It's late. even past the hour when I'd expected that the feast would begin. Tell from looking at their faces that even the guests are beginning to sense there's something wrong.
Perhaps he isn't coming, Ethan.
He'll be here. He must. Maybe there's something wrong with the door.
What are you saying, Ethan?
I must go and see.
Go and see?
Come with
Ethan,
me to the door. You may think me mad, but it could happen.
What could happen?
Come and see.
Yes, dear. Ethan, I'm looking at the door. What's wrong with it?
I must open it to show you. Here.
Well, Ethan, what's wrong? How different is the door now than it's ever been before?
I don't know.
Ethan, what is it? You're pale and fearful?
I don't know if I ought to tell you.
If you can tell anyone, it should be me.
Yes. Yes, dear. Last night, the same dream again. The man knocking. I bidding him to enter, and he didn't. Again, I could see him through the door as though it were transparent. And I could see him disappear. Yet last night, the dream was different. After he had gone, I went to the door. I opened it. And I found that the latch on the outside of our door was gone. Not there at all.
Gone?
Yes. It was as though there never had been a latch on the door.
What a strange thing to dream.
That's why. Well, I thought, oh, it can't have anything to do with it. The latch is there. The other guests found it. It's foolish, very foolish. Except...
Yes, dear?
In the dream, after I discovered the latch was missing from the outside of the door, I ran out. I followed the figure down the street. I called to him. I asked him to return. And he turned to me and said something and walked on.
What did he say?
What's the trouble? I can't remember. I just can't remember. Well, we might as well go back into the main hall and wait with our guests.
But if the master doesn't arrive...
He must arrive. We'll wait.
Ethan, the way everyone looks and whispers. It's long past mealtime. They know there's something wrong.
Yes.
The master won't be here. You must admit that now.
Yes, I'm afraid so. It would have been so perfect. The master here and Simeon not here. Had it happened, then even Malachi would have appreciated what I wanted to do. As a matter... Wait. Malachi.
What of Malachi?
He isn't here, is he?
No. But then would you invite a mere clerk to such a feast?
I did invite him this time, and he isn't here. Nor is the master here. Wait. This thing is beginning to make sense to me at last. Ruth, I'm going out.
Leave a house full of guests, a great feast waiting to be served? How can you?
I'm going out. I think I know where this master is. And if he is there, then Malachi will pay for this little bit of treachery. Yes, he'll pay.
Please, Ethan, just because your pride is hurt, don't do anything to Malachi. He was your father's clerk and friend even before you were born.
That doesn't give him the privilege of making a fool of me. I'm going to find out if my suspicions are true. And if they are, Malachi will suffer for this.
Yes, friend, who... Ethan.
Yes, Malachi. It's me.
Why, Ethan, what are you doing here?
Don't pretend you don't know. Let me in.
Oh, no, Ethan, I'm afraid I can't do that. The master is here and he teaches. I shouldn't want a man as angry as you are to burst in at such a moment.
Then he is here, just as I thought. Despite the fact that you knew I wanted him to feast at my house, you invited him here.
That's the strange part, Ethan. I didn't invite him.
You didn't invite him, yet he's here? How do you explain that?
He came to me. He asked to eat here, to spend the night here.
And I suppose you spread a lavish feast for him, quite by chance, too.
Feast? We had only bread and some milk. But the master seemed quite satisfied with such a little.
He came here of his own choice to eat bread and milk, when he knew I had a great feast prepared for him. I don't believe it.
I give you my word.
Malachi, I think you lie.
Ethan, please.
And not only do I think so, but I shall accuse you to your own friend, the master. I shall tell him what kind of treacherous man you are.
Ethan, you're making a great mistake.
Stand aside, Malachi.
Ethan, no. Don't go in there. Don't do it, please. Ethan!
Master! Master, I must talk to you.
Sir, please. Master's in the midst of teaching.
You, Peter, I recognize you, even if you don't remember me. I'm the man who invited the master to a feast at my house.
I remember.
But he wasn't there.
He chose this place, sir.
So I understand. And I want to know why.
The master is not called upon to explain his actions to anyone, save to a power greater than any on this earth.
Perhaps you don't think so, but I do. Master, I don't know which one you are. I've never seen you before. But they say you prize very highly truth and virtue, and honesty and faith. Yet you have chosen to come here to the house of a man who is dishonest, in preference to coming to my house.
Ethan, you shouldn't have said that.
You lied to me only a moment ago, standing there at the door.
But I didn't lie. I said the master asked to come here, and he did.
That's right, he did. I know that, Ethan.
I don't believe it. Not unless I hear it from the master. Which one is he that I may ask him for myself?
There, Ethan. There is the master.
Well then, master,
No. Ethan, what is it?
No, it can't be. It can't be.
Ethan, you look faint. You tremble. So what is it?
You wouldn't believe me. No one would.
What is it, man?
No, Peter. No, Malachi, it can't be.
Please, Ethan, what is it?
No, let go of me. Let me out of here. Let me go.
Ethan, wait! Ethan, wait. Please. That's right. Wait for me.
Well, Malachi, what do you want of me?
Oh, Ethan, I'm glad you waited. I couldn't let you go feeling as you did.
No. I'm convinced the master chose to come to your house without invitation. I know that now.
Is that what made you turn pale and tremble? Made you run from my house like a guilty man?
Was it so obvious?
Yes, Ethan. Now, tell me. Why?
Those dreams I had. The figure at the door. The figure that knocked and wouldn't enter when I invited him. That figure was the master. I knew it when I saw his face this evening.
Oh.
And as I looked upon the master's face, the words spoken to me in the dream all came back suddenly. I heard them as clearly as I heard them in my dream.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will eat with him, and he with me.
That's what I heard in my dream. And he was the figure.
I see.
Malachi, there was more. In the dream, there was no handle on the outside of my door. Why? Can you tell me, Malachi?
I'm beginning to understand. In the dream, it was a door. But in your own self, it is your heart. Just as in the dream, the door could only be opened from within because there was no latch on the outside. So your heart cannot admit the master unless you open it to him from within yourself. The latch to a man's heart is within him.
Yes. Now I know what the dream meant to tell me. I'm just not worthy. Not worthy at all. Good night, Malachi.
No, wait.
You yourself said it's something which must come from within a man. And I failed that way.
No man has failed till he gives up. You're not lost.
What can I do? How can I open my heart to the master?
By goodwill toward the master and toward others. By overcoming hatred. By forgiving. By living a good life in keeping with his word.
I see. I only threw wide the doors of my great house to him. I tried to tempt him with lavish foods. But he chose to eat bread and milk in your house, where there is kindness and goodwill and a benevolent spirit. He chose well, Malachi. I'm not worthy. I only meant to enhance my prestige by the master's presence. I meant, too, to do harm to Simeon. And in spite of that, you say I'm not lost?
No, Ethan. There's still time and still a chance to change.
You really think so?
Yes.
How? Some act, some good deed, some... Wait. I know.
Yes, Ethan. Has something occurred to you?
If I could bring myself to do it.
You mean Simeon?
Yes. You said yourself it's help that he needs, not expulsion from the town. Well, I could bring him to your house, to the master. He'd find help there.
That's right, Ethan.
But you know how I've always hated Simeon.
Then, isn't this the best time to open your soul from within to Simeon and to the master as well? Isn't it, Ethan?
Yes, Malachi. Yes. Though it'd be difficult for me to do it, I will. I shall go to Simeon's house now and bring him back. The master shall cure him, and me too. You see, the door to my heart is beginning to open already. Yes, with his words.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him.
You have been listening to The Figure at the Door, another episode in the greatest story ever told, from the greatest life ever lived.
Greatest story ever told. Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. He who has been called the Prince of Peace brought to this earth a new way of life built on kindness and goodwill. Today, the meaning of his message is more vital than ever before in the history of the world. The town of Bethany. On other days, a quiet, peaceful town. But today there's a great stir. For instead of accustomed hundreds, Bethany's streets are filled with thousands of people, and they are anxious people, awed by the presence of one about whom they have heard a strange yet an incredible tale. Most of all, the people crowd around the temple, for he is there, and they are anxious to see him and hear him speak.
Let me through, sir. I must see him.
Aye, they all say the same. There are more people in the temple today than I've ever seen before. All to see him.
I've heard he was actually raised from the dead.
Oh, you mean Lazarus. I thought you spoke of the Master.
I came to see Lazarus first. If it's true that Lazarus was raised from the dead, then I'll want to see the Master.
Lazarus was dead 3 days.
3 days? And he was brought back to life?
You can't disguise your wonder. Maybe you doubt, but I saw it. I believe. For Lazarus is a brother of Mary and Martha, whom I have known since childhood. I tell you, I saw it.
And is Lazarus inside the temple?
He is.
Then I must see for myself. Make way for me, please.
Oh, I'll stand aside. But people have come from Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Nazareth, from all over the land. They are as eager as you to see Lazarus and the Master.
I say, make way. Please, make way, please. I must see Lazarus.
Quiet, son. This is a temple.
Oh, yes. Which one is Lazarus?
He sits up there, on the platform.
Oh. It's a miracle. A miracle.
More than that happens here today. The Master has just spoken of eternal life.
Eternal life. Such a thing possible?
It's what he said. But there are people here who disbelieve, who question him.
They dare to question one who has raised a man from the dead?
They'll try. But quiet now. The questioning is about to begin.
And now, the Master will answer all questions. Who would ask the first?
I would like to ask a question.
Who is that man? Nathan, a very clever lawyer. And he is a bitter man. He doesn't believe Lazarus was raised.
You may ask your question, Nathan.
The Master has spoken of eternal life. And that is certainly an inviting prospect. If the taxes are ever reduced, am I right?
He's trying to heckle the Master.
Oh, he's a smart one, that Nathan.
Now, there's only one small question I have to ask. What is the secret of this eternal life? Is it perhaps achieved by some magic brew compounded by the witches in the hills of Galilee? Can it be bought? Can it be earned? My question, Master, is this. What shall I do to inherit eternal life? Well?
That's a question filled with a great deal of malice.
Nathan knows how to ask such questions. But wait for the Master, then.
My friends, we must have quiet. Nathan, would you repeat your question to the Master?
Oh, gladly. What shall I do to inherit eternal life?
What is written in the law? How do you read it?
What is written in the law, eh? Well, there's a part in the commandment which says, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. That's how I read it.
You have answered right. Do this, and you shall live.
Ah, but there are words here that could stand some explaining, if you can explain them. Take just one. The word, neighbor. Who is my neighbor? Is he the man who lives next door to me? Or in my own town? Or in the next town? What I want to know is, who is my neighbor?
To think the master was being tried as a criminal, the way Nathan cross-examines him.
To some, any man with a new idea is a criminal. But the master's calm. Look at his face. Did you ever see such calmness and such kindness, even toward Nathan? Now he's going to answer. Perhaps with one of his parables.
A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among thieves.
Samuel.
Yes, Esther?
Maybe you'd better not take your new clothes.
You want me to travel like a beggar?
You'd be less conspicuous if you did.
Ah, I understand now. You're still worrying about my safety on the road.
Well, so many men have been attacked by bandits lately on the road to Jericho.
I'm sure if I had time, you'd tell me all over again how they tie ropes across the road to unseat riders and how...
Samuel, please.
I'm sorry, dear. I didn't mean to joke about your worries. Not any more than I joke about my love for you. But if my brother sent for me, there must be a good reason. Maybe my mother's health. Whatever it is, I assured him I'd come to Jericho as soon as he sent for me. So, dear, let's finish with the packing.
Everything's ready except for your money belt.
I promised I'd let Jonathan bring me that. It makes him feel so important. Jonathan! Jonathan, I'm ready.
Yes, Father?
Well, son, you have the money belt?
Sure it is, Father. And it's heavy. Very heavy.
You have to carry a burden. Gold is the best I know of.
Let me help you put it on.
Of course. I put it on this way. There. Tie tightly.
Yes, Father.
Samuel, I still wish you wouldn't go alone.
Now, Esther, please. I'm going to Jericho alone only because I can't help it.
Well, I can go with you.
Oh, indeed. But who would take care of your mother?
Oh, that's right. But I know someone else who's going to Jericho today. Saul's father.
Today?
Yes.
You see, Samuel, you don't have to go alone after all.
Why, of course. And whom do we have to thank for it? Why, my son. Jonathan, you're proving to be a great help to your father. I'm proud of you, son.
Thank you, Father. But I better go find Saul's father now.
Tell me, Jonathan, do you know Saul's father? Have you ever seen him?
Oh, yes. He's a wonderful man. Very kind. Well, nice. It's nice to be with him. But now I'd better find out when he's leaving.
Certainly, but there's no need to run.
Oh, I'll have to. You see, I have to go down to King David Street to find
Jonathan.
Yes, Father?
Did you say you were going to King David Street?
Why, yes. Saul lives there, and if I want to talk to his father...
Jonathan.
What's the matter?
Just who is Saul's father?
Ephraim. Ephraim of Nablus.
Of Nablus. And King David Street. Just as I thought. Of course, he's a Samaritan.
Yes.
Well.
Is something wrong, Father?
Is something wrong? In heaven's name, son, don't you know about the Samaritans?
What do you mean?
I don't ever want you playing with Samaritan boys. Is that understood?
But why?
Why? Well, for one thing, Samaritans are dirty, shipless people.
Saul isn't dirty.
Besides, they're not to be trusted.
But, Father, Saul is an honest boy. He never cheats at games.
Jonathan, will you listen to your father?
Yes, Father, but can I even ask why?
Well, Samaritans are traitors. 500 years ago, when the Babylonians invaded our land, it was the Samaritans who collaborated with them, who ate at their tables and even married their women.
500 years ago? Well, you can't blame Saul for that.
He's a Samaritan, and it's in their blood to be cheating traitors.
Father.
Yes, Jonathan?
What you said about their blood, it's not so.
And what do you know about such things, may I ask?
Saul and I, we made a pact of friendship. I cut my hand and he cut his, and we mingled blood. It looked the same, his and mine.
A sacred pact of friendship with a Samaritan. Esther, did you hear?
Please, dear.
Now, I've heard everything. Jonathan, you may leave the room, but before you go, promise you will not play with any Samaritan boys again.
But, Father...
I said promise.
Father, please. Saul's my best friend.
Promise.
Yes, sir.
You may go now. I can't get over it. What's happened to the boy? Is that why I work so hard? Give him the best of everything so he can associate with Samaritan boys?
Please, Samuel, don't think about it now. You've got a dangerous journey ahead of you. Samuel.
Yes, sir.
Would it really be so bad if you went with this infamous Nablus?
Esther, I'm surprised.
I'm sorry. I only thought of your safety. After all, who would see you on the road?
Oh, you can't tell about things like that. Some important merchant might see me. The word would get around that I associate with Samaritans. It might ruin me. I'd rather risk it alone than be seen with a Samaritan. And now I'd better go.
I've already put a skin of fresh water and some cheese and bread in the camel's saddlebag. And here are your clothes and the gifts I got for your mother and brother.
Good.
Samuel, take care. And on your way, stop in at the temple to make a sacrifice. And pray.
Don't I always do that? Now, goodbye, dear.
You will take care.
Of course. I'd better go now.
Samuel, haven't you forgotten something?
Forgotten?
What we always used to say when we parted. The Lord keep watch between thee and me. While we are absent, one from another.
And this thing more I ask, O Lord, that you keep my wife and son safe while I am on my journey. For without them, what is my life? Keep them and bless them for the day I shall return, if it is thy will.
And may your offering find favor with the Lord, so that he grant you a safe journey. Amen.
Amen. And thank you, good priest, for your benediction.
I trust you will have good luck on your venture. Where are you going?
To Jericho.
Jericho? Oh, that's sad.
If it weren't a family obligation, I wouldn't risk it.
Well, it's not so dangerous as long as you go in a caravan.
Caravan? I'm afraid not. I can't wait until one leaves.
You mean you're going alone?
Yes. My camel's outside, and I'd better leave now if I want to cover the road in daylight.
Keep a sharp eye to the road, Simon.
I'm watching that, Mr. This time I hope it's a caravan. My share of the booty has been pretty slim lately.
It's more than you deserve, you miserable weakling.
I may be small, but I'm not a weakling. Haven't I wrestled and thrown camel drivers twice my size?
Wrestled? You're a poor excuse for a bandit if you can't stand the sight of blood. Give me a man who can kill with pleasure.
When you start talking that way, I pity the next travelers who come along this road.
Just keep a sharp watch. A bandit without a taste for blood. Sometimes I think I should work alone.
Wait, Atman. A traveler is coming. On a camel. See? Off there.
We'll stop him where the road curves. Let's get moving. Hello there, friend.
Yes? Who are you?
I'm a lone traveler from Jericho, and I'm thirsty. Would you spare a man a mouthful of water?
Surely, friend. I'm Samuel of Jerusalem. You're welcome to drink all you can hold.
I thought you said you were alone.
My friend's a little man. He can't drink much. Come, Simon. The man says we can have a drink.
Now, wait. I doubt if you are a traveler. You don't look like one, and besides...
Get around on the other side of him, Simon.
Say, what is this?
You hear that? What is this? Hand over your money belt if you know it's good for you.
Money belt? So you are a bandit?
Yes, I'm a bandit.
You hit him a good one, Atman.
Don't talk so much. Just dismount, get his money.
Sure.
Hurry, get the money belt and let's get out of here.
Sure, but I think you gave him too heavy a blow.
Shut up. Search him, get his money belt, and let's go.
Yes, sir. Belt is tight, but There it is. And a heavy one, too.
It'll buy many a skin of wine. Let me have it.
Here. His clothes are not so bad either.
Well, don't stand there talking about his clothes. Take them.
I'm taking them.
Still alive, is he? I'll fix that.
Atman, you'll kill him.
I don't like victims who moan. Well, that's done. Now take his camel. If we ever get caught, there's one man who won't be able to identify us. Come on, weak knees.
Yes, Atman.
Help! Someone help me. I'm a traveler who's been attacked by bandits.
Oh! Who is it out there in the darkness?
I'm by the side of the road. I've been badly beaten. Help me!
And endanger my caravan? I'm carrying chassis for the king from the temple.
If you're from the temple, surely you'll help me. It's your duty to man of God.
I can't stop and risk the gold.
But I'm dying! Help me! At least give me some water, please, please!
Don't stop, drivers. Get your camels moving. We must get away from here. This may be a trap set by the bandits. Hurry, drivers. Start moving.
Help me, please! I'm dying! Help me! Another caravan. If I could only get up. Help! Help!
Who is that who's calling? A voice. Voice of a man who sounds pretty sick and weak.
Help me! I've been attacked by bandits.
Do we stop? Who is it out there in the darkness?
I'm Samuel of Jerusalem. I've been beaten by bandits. I can't move. Help me. Need water and clothes. I'm freezing here in the night. Help me.
A man who travels alone deserves to die alone.
From the size of your caravan, you must be an important man. Can't you spare even a skin of water, an old coat? I tell you, I'm dying.
I am a servant of God on urgent business. I have no time to stop.
If you're a servant of God, did you let a man in distress die?
To me, you're not a man, only a voice in the dark. Move on, men. Move on.
No, you must help me. You must. I have a son, a wife. For their sake, help me.
Move on, I say.
Dear Lord, what is to become of me? Am I to die out here on the road? Isn't there anyone who'll stop to help me? My wife Esther, my son Jonathan. Won't they ever see me again? Or even know what's happened to me? Oh, dear Lord, there must be help somewhere. From someone. Who's coming? Who is it? Help me! Help!
Who calls out there?
I'm a traveler from Jerusalem, attacked and beaten
my bandage. Help me. Help me.
Faster, Campbell. Faster. There's a man in trouble. I'll help you, friend. Here, let me... Oh, he's fainted. Oh, maybe dead. I'd better give him some water. Here, friend. Let me lift your head. Now, drink. Thank you. Thank you. Don't bother to talk now. You must save your strength. And I'll soothe your wounds with some of this oil I have. I don't mean to hurt you. Forgive me. I must fix your wounds. There are many of them, and they're deep. But this oil... Here. Oh! Sometimes a man must hurt in order to heal. I'm doing the best I can. The oil will ease your pain. Better. Good. Now I must get you to an inn. Thank you. But first let me put my coat around you. You're naked, cold. But what about you? I'll fight the cold by walking. You must ride my camel. You're doing too much for a stranger. A man who's a stranger today may be a friend tomorrow. Here, take my coat. Innkeeper!
Who's knocking this time of night?
I have a traveler with me. He's sick. He needs a bed.
All right. I'll open up.
I say this man isn't sick. He's been beaten. By the bandits, probably. Yes, but talk won't help him. He needs a comfortable bed and good care. Well, if the bandits got him, he probably doesn't have the money to pay for a bed and food. I didn't think to inquire, but I have the money. May I feel the weight of the coins in my hand first? Please, this man is sick. Sick man may die. And who's to take the risk? Not me. The coin. Here. All right. You can bring him in now. Lean on me, friend. Thank you. Here. Rest here. Thank you, friend. I'd stay here with you, except I have urgent business in Jericho. But you'll receive good care here. Isn't that so, innkeeper? Of course. As long as the money holds out. I'll be coming back this way in a few days with more. Give this man everything. I'll pay for it. As you say. I'll get him some milk now. You've been very kind to me. Why? You're a man. Isn't that reason enough? But others passed me by. A man who's suffered hardship and hatred knows the value of a kind deed. When you return from Jericho, we'll go back to Jerusalem together. You must be a guest in my house. Perhaps. I insist. There must be some way I can show my appreciation. Besides, my wife and son would never forgive me if I didn't bring you home and do you honor equal to your kindness to me tonight. Your wife and son might not think so highly of me. Why not? Because I am from Nablus. You, a Samaritan. Yes, friend. So, you see, your wife and son might not welcome a guest called Ephraim of Nablus. Ephraim? Why do you say it that way? Forgive me, Ephraim, forgive me. For what? Without knowing you, I've hated you. I don't understand. I'll tell you about it one day. But now that I know who you are, I insist you not only dine with us in my house, but bring your wife and your son Saul as well. You know that I have a wife and a son. Yes, I know. And there are many things I know now that I never knew before. It isn't a man's face or his possessions or the way he speaks or the place he was born which determines how good a man he is. It's what he does towards his fellow men that should earn him his place in this world. And yours, Ephraim, should be among the highest. Promise you'll come to my house, please. I promise, Samuel.
master spoke wisely. Yes. And now Nathan looks humble and meek. Not defiant as he did before. Wait, the master's going to speak again.
Which now of these three do you think was neighbor to him that fell among thieves?
I know now, master. The man who showed him mercy.
Go thou and do likewise.
Listening to The Good Samaritan, another episode in the greatest story ever told from the greatest life ever lived. The greatest story ever told was a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education. Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. Journey to Tiberius, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. In the town of Bethel in Judea, there is excitement in the marketplace as a new caravan is being formed to undertake a journey to the north. Placid and stately camels and also lowly donkeys are being loaded with goods, and travelers are preparing to climb to the backs of the animals which will carry them on the long journey to Tiberius. Two people, husband and wife, carrying their few possessions and all their food in one bundle, stand watching as the caravan begins to take form. Then the woman says,
Uriah, you have to ask now, else it will be too late.
It won't do any good to ask, Miriam. I've already heard the price. We haven't enough money.
But if you explained it to the caravaneers, they might provide us with animals, and then my brother would pay them when we get to Tiberias.
Things are bad enough. How we look coming to your brother like beggars, not even having enough money to pay our wages.
What choice do we have now?
That's another way of saying it's all my fault.
Oh, please, Uriah, this is no time for recriminations. We must get to Tiberius as soon as possible. My time can't be far off.
I know. I'll ask.
Good.
You there. From the way you give orders, it would seem you're the chief carabiner.
Aye, that's what I am.
Well, sir, if this weren't an unusual situation, I wouldn't ask.
You haven't got the money, is that it?
How did you know?
I've never made a journey yet, but that someone didn't come up to me and say it's a very unusual situation, and then want me to do something for nothing. Now then, if you have no money, we have no business together, good day.
No, wait. I have some money.
Yes, how much?
4 copper coins.
Well, then, what's your trouble? 3 coins will provide you with a donkey.
But there are 2 of us. That's why I wondered if you'd trust me until we got to Tiberius. My brother-in-law will pay the difference there.
Oh, he will. I've known brothers who refuse to do that, let alone brothers-in-law. Oh, no. I can't take chances like that.
Please, sir, this one time, make an exception. After all, my wife, she must reach Tiberius before the baby's born.
Wait. Just came to me. There was a man here. Let me see. There he is. See that old fellow there?
Yes?
He didn't have quite enough money for a donkey either. Now, perhaps if both of you put your money together, you'd have one animal between you. Each of you could ride half the time and walk half the time. It's better than walking all the way.
Yes, of course, I'll talk to him at once.
Let me know quickly. We'll be on our way soon.
But, sir, may I talk to you a moment?
Yes. What is it, friend?
The chief carabiner told me you wanted to hire a donkey for the journey, but you didn't have enough money.
That's so. But I decided to walk. So if you've come to offer me a few coins, no thank you.
Well, it wasn't that exactly.
No?
So I thought if we pooled our money, we could share one animal between us. It would make the journey easier for us both.
I've already decided that a donkey might be a wasteful luxury for me. I shall walk.
Oh, please, sir, you don't understand. That woman there, she's my wife. As you can see, we must reach our destination soon. I can provide a donkey for her, but if I must walk, that'll throw us up. We may not reach Tiberius in time. Please, would you change your mind?
Why, if it will help your wife and you, of course. Here, take my few coins and make the arrangement with the carabiner.
Well, don't you want to come with me?
I trust you to make the arrangement honestly, friend. Now, I'll wait for you over there where your wife is. As long as we shall be together for the next 3 days, we might as well be friends.
It was very nice of you to help us out, sir.
It isn't often one gets the chance to do a good deed and, in addition, enhance one's own comfort. It will be better than walking all the way.
But the money might have meant a good deal to you. I'm sure that, aside from that bundle of food you carry, you have nothing else in this world.
In this world? Yes. You're right, my dear.
What did you mean by that, sir?
If I were to tell you, perhaps you might not...
Sir, it's all arranged. We start out at once.
Good.
Oh, and since we have 2 bundles between us, we shall place one on each donkey. Ours on the back of the donkey my wife rides. Your bundle on the donkey we two shall share. Is that agreeable?
Of course.
All right, everyone. The caravan will start. Everyone mount. Ready to start.
Quickly, sir. We must get underway. Then, Miriam, come. I'll help you. Comfortable, Miriam?
Yes, dear.
Good. The reason I chose to walk the first stretch was to let him ride.
What do you mean,
Don't
Ralph?
talk so loud. I don't want the old man to hear. But don't think I didn't notice. While I was making the arrangement with the carabiner, you were talking to him.
He's such a friendly man, so easy to talk to.
And I suppose you had to tell him everything, that I failed and fell? We have to go crawling to your brother to ask help till the baby arrives?
No, Uriah. Why should I?
Are you sure?
Oh, Uriah, it's the same thing all over again. You're so suspicious of people, so resentful, so full of false pride.
If only you were different. If only you... No, we shouldn't get to quarreling now.
You didn't have to say it. I know it well. It was my fault. Because I stood up to old Mordecai and told him what I thought of him, I lost my position. And now we're wanderers on the road seeking charity. It's my fault.
Please, you're right.
I'll never hear the end. Well, if it's all the same to you, I don't want to talk anymore. We can go the rest of the way in silence. All 3 days of the way.
My dear, as long as it's my time to walk, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took up the reins of your donkey and walked alongside you.
It's very kind of you, sir.
When people give friendship, they gain friendship. One always gains that way. I've been noticing your husband. For instance, the look on his face now.
Please don't talk about him.
Oh, but I must. Some men's faces have carved on them all the hatred and grief and pain that's inside of them. Your husband is such a man. From the first moment he called to me in the marketplace, I could tell.
How could you know so much about what goes on inside a man?
I don't know how one explains that, but the fact that I do know makes me want to help him if I can.
All right, we stop here. Stop here and rest.
Well, a rest would do us all good. I think you might like to sit peacefully on the soft earth now,
Yes, sir. It might be very comfortable after such a long ride as we...
My dear, what is it?
I reached back to brace myself in order to dismount, and I discovered it's gone. The bundle with all our food is gone.
Why, so it is.
Uriah!
What is it?
Uriah, it's gone. All our food is gone.
What do you mean, gone?
I
tied it on tightly. How could it be missing?
I don't know, Uriah, but it is gone.
What are we going to do? 3 days' journey. 3 whole days and nothing to eat. Miriam, you should have been more careful.
But, Uriah, I didn't do it.
Crying won't help.
Look, friend, even if we could discover whose fault it was, it wouldn't help now. The bundle is lost. Gone. But I have some food in my bundle. Would you share it with me?
Your food, it wouldn't last a day for 3 people.
It will last the whole trip if we want it to. That bundle looks small, but it's deceiving. But now, in any event, your wife and you must be hungry. Eat with me as long as we do. Would you?
It's very nice of you to offer.
Then I shall bring it here at once.
Oh, he's such a nice man, Uriah.
He feels guilty, that's all. He knows that if he kept his eyes open, we probably wouldn't have lost our food.
Oh, Uriah. Can't you accept anyone as being good? Even a man who's willing to share his last possession with... Yes, there he comes.
It may not be much, my friends, but even bread and cheese is a feast when a hungry stomach says so. Here, let me set it down and open it.
Oh, let me have a look.
No, now. If you look, it will be no surprise. Just stand where you are and... Oh, I know what's missing. A knife. Do you have one?
Yes.
Here. Thank you. Now, here, let me cut you each a share of bread and cheese. For your wife. There. And the cheese. There, my dear.
Thank you.
And for you, then. There.
Well, thank you. Say, you're covering the food. Aren't you going to have any?
Truth to tell, I'm not hungry now. Later, perhaps. But don't let that stand in your way. Now, I shall put the bundle back on the donkey.
Miriam, there's something strange about him. I could swear he's hungry.
Yes, I know.
Yet he doesn't eat.
Why?
Yes. I wonder why. Well, I'll keep watch. I'll find out what's so strange about him. Now eat, Miriam.
listening to the caravaneers singing off there by the fire. What is it, Uriah?
I've been watching that man. I think I know.
You know? What?
The moon's bright enough to see by. And I've kept my eye on him ever since we stopped here for the night. A little while ago, I saw him open his window. He was digging in and eating. Pretty hungry, too.
And why not? He didn't eat all day.
And yet this evening, he gave us even smaller pieces of bread and cheese, and this afternoon...
Have we a right to complain?
Well, I wouldn't mind for myself so much, but it's you I'm thinking of. He should at least have the decency to give you a good-sized portion instead of waiting till dark when he's alone and eating most of it by himself.
Whatever we get is more than we're entitled to, Uriah.
Well, you seem to think very well of that old man, don't you?
He's a nice man. I like him.
He's a hypocrite, that's what he is. Making out to be charitable to our faces and then eating his full when he thinks we can't see. I'd like to get my hands on that bundle. Only trouble is I'm never out of his sight when it's my turn to ride the donkey. But if I ever do get out of his sight...
Uriah, you're not even to think of such a thing.
I don't mind telling you I'm hungry, Mary. I'm very hungry.
I'd rather starve, Uriah, than have you steal.
Well, it isn't stealing exactly. I just want to see. Just want to get my hands on that bundle and see all the food he's hiding from us, that's all.
No, Uriah, just to put it out of your mind.
All right, Mary. We'll forget about the old man and his bundle of food. For the time being. You see that, Miriam?
What do you mean, Uriah?
Well, just look. Today he doesn't even bring the bundle over here. Just borrows my knife, goes over to the bundle, and cuts the bread and cheese over there.
Why not? It seems a very heavy bundle for such an old man to carry back and forth.
Now you're beginning to use your head.
I don't like the way you said that, Uriah.
A heavy bundle. So it must be full of food. And yet he doles it out.
Well, then, here we are. The bigger portion for your sweet wife.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome, my dear. And Uriah, this is for you. Uriah, won't you take yours?
Yes, thanks.
And here's your knife.
Thank you. Well, I see you aren't going to join us this time either.
Should a man waste food if he isn't hungry? When I'm hungry, I'll eat.
It seems that some men are never hungry.
When I was younger, I could eat a great deal more. But now, well, it's different.
I'd like to believe that.
Uriah!
I won't continue to keep you occupied in conversation. It will keep you from eating, and the caravan will be starting up shortly. So let me return to the donkey and wait.
Let him go. I'll wager the moment we turn our backs, he'll be digging into that bundle with both hands again, stuffing his mouth with food.
Now, please, Uriah, don't talk that way.
Well, I can't help it. I'm hungry. And yet that bundle hangs pretty heavy on that donkey. If I could just look inside it when he isn't watching.
All right, everyone mount. We're starting up again. We've a good distance to go by nightfall. Come on, everyone.
Uriah.
What is it? Why don't you go to sleep, Mary?
Well, dear, perhaps if you held my hand, I might feel more easy and be able to sleep.
Hold your hand, huh? I know what's going on in your mind. If I hold your hand, you'll know where I am. That's it, isn't it?
Oh, Uriah, why do you have to suspect people?
I'm right, and you know it. You're thinking I might slip away and take the old man's bundle, is that it?
Oh, no, you wouldn't do that. You couldn't, could you?
I'm hungry, that's all I know.
But tomorrow morning we'll be in Tiberius, and my brother's house will have much to eat, all you want.
I'm hungry now. I can't wait till tomorrow.
If I were starving, I'd wait.
Well, don't forget I've walked half the distance. I'm hungry. And in a short while, I'll eat my fill.
Then you are going to do it.
If you insist on asking, yes, I'm going to do it. Only the fact that the moon is so bright has made me wait till now. Besides, I must be sure the old man's asleep.
Uriah, how could you?
I noticed it again tonight. After he gave us our share, he went back and was digging in the bundle again with both hands. And if there's food, we should have some.
I won't eat a bite of it.
Then I will. No, I've noticed he hasn't stirred for a while. He's probably asleep. I'm going over there.
What if he wakes?
It would be better for him if he didn't.
Uriah.
I have the knife. Remember that.
Oh, Uriah, no.
It's up to the old man. I don't want to hurt him.
No.
But if he thinks more of the bundle of food than of his own safety, that's his fault. Now I'm going.
No, Uriah, no.
Take your hand off me.
Uriah. Uriah.
Easy, Donkey, easy. I'm just going to relieve you of the burden. There. One cut of the knife. Now I'll carry this bundle from now on. You needn't waste your tears, my dear. This bundle is so heavy with food I can barely carry it.
Please, Uriah, before you touch any of the food, please, put it back.
Don't be a fool. Once we get to Tiberius, I'll pay the old man for his food. I don't want anything for nothing.
No, Uriah, if you take one mouthful of that food, I shall never be able to love you again.
I'll talk about that better after I filled my stomach. Now I'll untie this napkin. And look at the food the old man's been hiding from us. It is this.
Uriah.
What new? Who are you? Old man.
You wake the others with such a loud voice.
Well, pretty sly, aren't you? So you weren't asleep after all.
Truth is, I was. Then I felt some movement beside me. It woke me. And I found the bundle missing.
Isn't that too bad?
Now, please, before you open it, give it back to me.
No.
Please, you do yourself no good that
I'm
way.
through with depending on your false charity. I'll eat my fill right now.
I say don't open that bundle.
If you're thinking of stopping me, remember, I have the knife.
I remember.
Then leave me alone for your own sake.
All right, son. Go on. Open it.
That's better. Now then, let me get this untied. Quite a knot you made here. Can't seem to... Now, wait, I know. I'll slit it with my knife. There. And now we'll eat, Miriam.
I won't.
You will. Just let me reach in here and get some of... Hey. Now, what is this?
Uriah?
It's a trick. It's some kind of trick the old man's playing on us. The bundle is heavy, but it's heavy with stones.
Stones?
Yes, stones. I found a little bit of bread and some cheese, but beneath there's nothing but stones. Stone. Oh, wait. Let me hold this up so the moonlight can show. Stones. Only stones. Old man, where's the food?
That little you hold in your hand is all the food we have left.
Now, this is a trick. If it wasn't, you wouldn't bother to have put stones in here.
Yes, I guess you might call it a trick. And for that, I must apologize to your very fine wife. Forgive me, Miriam.
I forgive you?
Yes, I was mistaken. But I meant it only for your own good, my dear. There was so little food, so very little, that I didn't want you to worry. I wanted the bundle to appear heavy and full, so that you wouldn't grow fearful or discouraged. And it almost worked.
How kind of you to have considered my feelings that way.
Perhaps because I remembered another woman who once traveled a long journey carrying her child, as you carry yours now.
Another woman?
Yes. And if all goes well, we shall see her son tomorrow.
Sir, can I ever thank you enough?
You don't believe all that, do you, Miriam?
I do, Uriah, I do.
A very ingenious story. But what about his stuffing his mouth as fast as he could once it got dark? What about that, old man, huh?
Oh, that. Well, I thought I could go the 3 days without any food at all. But I was wrong. Perhaps age has made me weak. So weak that each night I would search the bottom of the bundle for crumbs of bread and cheese. When a man salvage its crumbs. 2 hands work better than one.
Crumbs. Uriah's mate only crumbs and gave us his food. Oh, I'm so ashamed, Uriah.
Crumbs. Sir, you went all this way with nothing but crumbs to eat.
Can one eat stones?
No. No. Miriam, what an evil man I am. What a fool. What a stupid, vicious man I've been. Miriam, this isn't the first time it's happened. I can tell you now. It was the same with Mordecai. I accused him of not being fair with me. That's what led to our quarrel, to my losing my position with him. It was my fault, Miriam. I didn't have the courage to tell you before.
Oh, my dear, I'm so sorry for you.
Yes. Yes, my inner suspicion and hatred of all people has brought us this low, brought us to your brother's door as beggars. And now, sir, if you should care to turn me over to the authorities, do so.
No, Uriah. No need to do that. Only one thing I ask, that when we arrive at Tiberius, both of you must come with me. We'll find food where I'm going. Food for your hungry stomach, Uriah. Food, too, for your empty spirit. Will you come with me?
Of course, sir. We will.
So many people here.
Here we shall find the master, my dear.
The master?
Yes. You may have heard of him even in Judea. But here in Galilee, all know him well. Come, I will take you both to him now. Master, how good it is to be back with you again. And I have brought some friends with me, hungry and needy friends. But before we give this man food for his body, he needs even more food for his soul. He can find that only in you. Help is needed here, Master, for a man who is suspicious, distrustful, and hateful of his fellow men.
Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet withal, it shall be measured to you again.
If only I'd heard the master before I ruined myself through suspecting and judging Mordecai. Through my fault, my wife has been forced to wander the road like a beggar at such a time.
It was all worth it, Uriah, if it meant such a change in you. If your heart is open now to loving and giving instead of hating and suspecting.
You see, Uriah, there are those of us who want to help you.
I know that now. Miriam, we shall go back to Bethel. I shall humble myself to Mordecai and admit my mistakes. We shall have our home again.
See, already you have new courage, new humility.
Yes. Because of the master, sir. It was good of you to have brought us to him. But one thing I noticed. He seemed to know you very well. Embraced you as an old friend.
Yes. He is, I'm happy to say. It is my privilege to follow him as one of his most trusted friends. And one of his apostles as well.
You? One of his apostles?
Yes. And should you ever need help, my friend, remember me. Call upon me. My name is Bartholomew.
Listening to Journey to Tiberius, another episode in the greatest story ever told from the greatest life ever lived. By the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. Tonight we present This is My Commandment, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. The town of Magdala by the Sea of Galilee is a watchful town this day. Most of the people hide in their houses. Those brave enough to venture out speak among themselves only in whispers. They look furtively toward the town gate, as though doom itself might be approaching from there. Then, it is heard. This is the first sound of it. Now, even those who have been brave enough to venture out become fearful. They scatter, each to his own house, and everyone peers out cautiously to watch as a force of Caesar's soldiers in shining armor marches into the town, through its marketplace, and to the door of the house of Saul, elder of the town.
Now then, Tertius. This is the house, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
We'll see. You'll keep the men on the alert while I go in and have my talk with this town elder. we shall have quick justice in this matter.
If I may say a word to the Centurion, sir.
What is it, Tertius?
I've been stationed in this area a long time, sir. I know these people. You won't make any headway being reasonable with them. You've got to be hard, unyielding. I know.
I expect that.
I mean, they'll deny having anything to do with the whole thing. They might even try to blame it on one of us. They're tricky.
I'll know how to handle them, Tertius. You just keep the men on the alert, ready for anything.
Yes, sir. All men at attention and on the alert.
I'll keep them that way. I'll go in by myself. Are you Saul, the town elder?
I am. Would you come in, sir?
Yes.
If Your Excellency would care to be seated.
I will stand.
As you wish, sir.
Now then, what I have to say is brief. What I have to ask is even briefer. A centurion of Caesar's army was murdered in this town, stabbed in the back with a short sword.
A short sword, eh? A Roman weapon.
We've thought of that. There's no significance to it. Now I'll continue. Death was immediate. The murderer was not discovered. We cannot countenance that. This death must be avenged at once. Now, what I want from you is the surrender of this criminal. Well?
You talk as though he were concealed in the next room. As though he were mine to hand over.
You know who did it.
No, sir.
You lie.
No, sir.
See here, man. If you think that by shielding him you can avoid paying for this crime, you're sadly mistaken. We'll match you blood for blood and more.
Please, sir, you must understand. I am the elder of this town. The enforcement of the law is in my hands. And I would not countenance murder any more than you would. Regardless of the fact that the victim was a cruel, inhuman officer whose very brutality was enough to insure him of the fate which finally caught up with him.
Uh-huh. Now that you've given me the reason why he was killed, I want the criminal surrendered.
You seem so sure the criminal is one of my people. Have you thought he might be one of your own?
He's not. Strange you don't know who this murderer is. Even I know.
You know?
There's a man named Joshua who lives in this town.
Joshua the silversmith. Why, surely you don't think that he... Why, he's the gentlest, kindest person you've ever seen.
All of which would allow him to commit this crime and remain unsuspected. Except for two things. First, he disappeared from this town on the day of the killing and has not returned. Though it's been 3 days since.
That's no crime.
The guilty man shows his guilt. The first thing he does is to flee.
But you don't understand, sir. Joshua is a silversmith. Every so often he must make a journey to a larger city to replenish his supply of the silver he uses in his work. It's not at all unusual for him to be gone for several days at a time.
Very convenient, very thorough. No wonder he dared to kill the centurion with such a perfect defense. But there's more to this. The short sword found in the centurion's back was known to have been in the possession of this same Joshua.
No.
It's very much the truth. So now I want him handed over.
Well, in the first place, he's not here, as you know.
Then find him.
And in the second place, if he were here, I would have to be satisfied in my own mind that he were guilty before he were handed over.
I see.
I couldn't take it upon myself to condemn an innocent man to death. How could I ever face the master if I did?
Who said that it would mean death for an innocent man?
I know you must punish someone to save your face here. And it will matter little to you if he is guilty or innocent. I will not let you kill an innocent man. I won't let you.
So Tertius was right. Well, if strong measures are to be called for, I'm not one to hesitate. Listen to me, old man. Unless Joshua is surrendered to me for this crime by nightfall tomorrow, every man over 20 years of age in this town will be lined up at the town gate. One of every 10 men will be chosen and executed. Think about that for a while.
The way they've been guarding this town, I wouldn't say for sure that you've been entirely unobserved.
What is it? About Joshua.
Then you've heard.
The word spread all over the town. Everyone knows now.
I wonder if they know the rest of it, too.
The rest of it?
Yes. What will happen if I don't turn Joshua over to them?
I didn't hear anything about that.
1 of every 10 men will be selected and killed.
They can't do that.
They will. That's why I sent for you. You are Joshua's closest friend. You're an honest, decent man, and you have courage. I want to know, what would you do in my place?
1 out of every 10 men. That would mean almost 100 men who are sons, husbands, fathers. Almost 100 of them. Against the life of 1 man.
Go on, Benjamin. Say it.
Well, I admit it flashed into my mind. Why not give up the 1 man to save the other 100?
Yet, dare I or any of us decide that an innocent man is to die to save us? What would the master's judgment of us be?
You're right. We'd be guilty of murder ourselves if we did that.
Exactly. So I feel a little firmer now in my decision. For my part, and acting on behalf of this town, I shall give Joshua a chance to escape. We can't give up an innocent man just to save ourselves.
But they'll be pressing you for an answer, won't they?
Tomorrow at sundown is the limit set by the new centurion. That's why we must work quickly.
What do you want me to do?
Unless this journey of Joshua's is different from the others he makes, he would be returning to town by tomorrow morning. And if he rides in through that gate, he's as good as dead.
You want me to find him before he reaches town?
Yes. I want you to leave here on whatever pretext will satisfy the Romans. Then go as quickly as you can to Emmaus. Joshua must pass through there to return home. Intercept him. Tell him to flee anywhere. But he's not to return here.
Yes, Saul, I'll do that.
You'll have no regrets?
If it's the right thing to do, I'll do it. Perhaps once I would have faltered. But I've heard the master too many times to turn away from the right. Now, I shall do what I have to do.
Good. Then hurry to Emmaus.
Tell me, Michael, you must have seen my friend Joshua, the silversmith of Magdala. He should have arrived here in Emmaus by now.
Joshua? No, I haven't seen him. And yet I seem to remember someone saying something about him.
Who? What did he say? Please, it's a matter of life and death.
Let me think. Was it... Yes, I believe it was Samson the glassmaker. Yes.
And I must find him. There's not a moment to be lost. Please, Samson, try to remember. Michael said you mentioned him. You must remember.
I mentioned Joshua? But that's impossible. I haven't even seen him this time. As far as I know, he hasn't arrived here in Emmaus yet.
But he must have. If he's gone on and he's on his way back home to Magdala, it'll mean his death.
His death? Why, what... no, don't go, Benjamin. Wait. Death? What could he have meant?
Michael,
oh, I'm glad you just returned to me. I just remembered after you left. It wasn't Samson who told me. It was Jeremiah. And Jeremiah said that Joshua had passed through the town without stopping to pay his usual friendly calls because he heard that the master was teaching outside of town.
You mean I can find him there?
If he hasn't already left there and gone back home.
Let's hope that he hasn't. I must find him at the master's camp. He's a doomed man. A doomed man. Peter, surely you must remember me.
Yes, of course I remember you. Benjamin of Magdala. But what happened to you, man? You seem anxious and worried. Has some evil overtaken you?
No. Something evil can't happen unless I find my friend here.
Your friend? Would that be Joshua?
Yes. Is he here? Have you seen him?
Well, of course. He came here almost at daybreak. We shared the morning meal together. Now he's listening as the master teaches. You'll find him over there with the others who listen.
Thank you, Peter. I must talk to him at once.
But move quietly and speak softly, for the master teaches.
Of course, Peter. I would never intrude on his teaching. Joshua, I'm
glad I found you in time.
Why, Benjamin, you here?
Yes, I must talk to you at once. It's very important.
It may be important, but you can't talk now. Listen. The master speaks again.
If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father, and abide in his love.
So many worthy things he teaches this day, Benjamin.
It has always been so when I've heard in Joshua. But I must say,
he speaks again.
This is my commandment, that ye love one another, as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend.
It seems the master has finished his teaching for this day. But look, see how the crowd stands quietly and doesn't move. They've been so affected by his teaching.
Please, Joshua, come. We must move. Let's find a place where I can speak to you alone. Come.
Now, Benjamin, you seem so upset, so worried. What is it?
Joshua, you must not go back to Magdala.
Mustn't go back, but why?
They're searching. The Roman centurion, his force of men.
For me? What am I supposed to have done?
Remember Caius, the centurion who used to be in command of the area?
Well, yes, he was killed.
Well, the new centurion says that you killed him.
I? Kill a man? Even a man as hard and brutal as Caius, I could never do that. Why, the master's words alone would stay my hand from such a deed.
So Saul tried to tell the new centurion.
He wouldn't believe it. Well, I'll show them I'm an innocent man. I'll go back and prove I didn't do it.
Prove it? How will you prove it?
Well, I'll tell them that I wasn't anywhere near the place where Caius was attacked. They must believe that it's the truth.
That isn't much proof, Joshua. It's only your word. And you know how easily they'll brush that aside. So you see, you must never return.
Magdala, my home, and suddenly it's the one place in the world I can't go. I'm not a criminal, not a fugitive. I don't know about running away, about hiding. I just don't understand. Wait, Benjamin. I feel sure that if I tell them...
Nothing will help. They don't seek justice. They're determined only to kill someone as revenge for this, and they've fixed on you.
I see.
Well, go. Go on, leave at once.
Oh, wait, Benjamin. You said they were more intent on revenge than on justice, didn't you? Well, suppose I run away. Suppose I'm never seen in this land again. Tell me, what will stop them from seizing another man?
In that case, Joshua, it won't be one man. It'll be many.
Many? What are you saying?
It's a reprisal because of Saul's unwillingness to hand you over. Centurion has threatened that 1 out of every 10 men in the town will be killed.
They'd kill 100 men?
But please, there's no time to talk. You must be on your way.
No, wait. Benjamin, I have something to say.
You can have nothing to say. Saul won't hand over an innocent man to be killed, no matter what the cost.
And do you think that I could go through my life bearing the guilt for the blood of other men?
Please, Joshua, the time draws close. It'll be dusk soon. I must go back. I must face the Romans together with all the others.
And I'll go back with you.
You know what that means, Joshua?
I know. I won't pretend to be a brave man. I'm afraid, yes. But this is something bigger than being brave or not. Only a little while ago, I stood before the Master and heard him teach. I looked upon his face, which is full of strength and love, and I believed him as I heard him say, "This is my commandment, that ye love one another. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." Those things I heard, and I believed them only a little while ago.
But think of what waits for
you. And what waits for 100 men if I don't return? Can I let them face death for my sake? No, I'd rather give my life, even as the Master said, to save those men who would die in my place. Come, Benjamin. We're going back together. I only hope we get there in time.
Are these all the men, Tertius?
Yes, sir. Every man of the town over the age of 20. All here.
Good. Give the word for them to form a line. Then I'll begin counting off. Every 10th man will be taken from the line and put under guard at once.
Aye, sir.
Then either they tell us where this man Joshua is, or else we'll kill them. Now line them up.
Aye, sir.
All right, you men, quiet. We'll form a single line here along the town wall. Move, quickly.
That man who called out, sees him?
Aye, sir.
He'll be the one chosen for the first 10.
Aye, sir. Now the rest of you move. At once. That's better.
There's your line, sir.
Good. Now we'll fix them. First, let me see. Ah, yes. Saul, the town elder. We'll see how stubborn he'll be now. You.
Yes, sir?
You'll be the one selected from this group of 10.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel now? Not so brave and defiant as you were before.
No, sir. Just thankful.
Thankful?
Yes, that it is I, instead of one of the younger men. Where do you wish me to stand?
Stand right there.
Yes, sir.
Now the others. You. Now be quiet, Tertius. What's the meaning of this?
Sir.
Well, what is it, Tertius? What's the matter with you?
The two men who approached the town gate.
Well, what about them?
One of them is Joshua.
Joshua, the man we seek. Well, go seize him at once.
Yes, sir. You men, you, come with me. Draw your sword. We'll take that man prisoner.
Bring him to my headquarters at once.
Aye, sir.
Well, so it seems we have him after all, doesn't it?
Yes. I can't understand it.
You can't, eh?
No. You see, the other man, Benjamin, was sent to warn him.
Indeed. Well, first we'll deal with Joshua, then with Benjamin and yourself for this little intrigue to thwart Roman justice. You'll come with me to my headquarters at once. The rest of you men will return to your homes peacefully, else there'll be bloodshed here yet. Now then, this one is Joshua, eh?
Yes, sir.
A very clever criminal. Well, you get your punishment now.
Sir, may I speak?
I don't want it said there's been no justice here. You may speak.
Sir, I know what's going to happen to me. I have no illusions about that. But I do want to say that I'm an innocent man.
You ran away the day the centurion was killed?
No, sir, I went away, as I have done many times before. Quite innocently and quite in accord with the usual demands of my craft. I went to buy silver, without which I cannot work. If you wish to examine the bag I had slung over my shoulder, you'll find the silver in there.
Clever, but not clever enough. I say you ran away.
I see. The truth has no place here.
The truth, eh? You want the truth, do you? Well, I have something to show you. Tertius, fetch the weapon for me.
Sir, it would do no good. The man will deny anything to save his life.
Fetch it. There's no choice now. The whole town's aroused over this. Reports of it will find their way to the capital. We must prove our action was justified. Fetch it.
Aye, sir.
You'll find out soon enough, Joshua, that you'd have been better off telling the truth instead of endangering the lives of all those men.
He didn't endanger our lives.
Be quiet, Saul. I'll deal with you and Benjamin later.
Because we warned Joshua? Is that why?
By your own admission, remember that.
Yes, sir. And would you take that into account now?
What do you mean?
I will take my punishment. Benjamin will take his. Because we tried to warn Joshua, tried to tell him to flee. But in the face of that, he came back. Is that the action of a guilty man?
Questions of guilt or innocence are decided by me. Tertius, where is that weapon?
Here, sir.
It had been mislaid.
Put it down on the table here.
Aye, sir.
There, Joshua. Look at that weapon and tell me that it wasn't in your possession.
Yes, I had that weapon once.
Joshua,
please, don't admit anything just to save us. It's the truth. I did have this weapon.
There. You see, Saul?
Sir, may I ask, why do you question me about this weapon?
Why? Did you hear that? Why? Are you still going to carry on that pretense of innocence? This is it. The weapon found driven into the body of the dead centurion. This very short sword that you admit having possessed.
That sword was yours?
Yes.
So you suspected me. Now I'm beginning to understand. Sir, look at it. A Roman short sword. Would one of us have dared to own such a weapon? No, for merely to possess such a weapon would be danger, even death.
But you said you did have this weapon. You admitted it.
It was brought to me by one of your soldiers. Here, look at it. See the fine silver work on the handle? I did that. That's my work. That's why I had the weapon.
And having had it, you decided to use it on Caius, the former centurion.
But I didn't. 2 days before he was killed, I gave this weapon back to the man who brought it to me to have me do this work.
That's a lie, sir. Well, Tertius, what do you know about this?
Well, he lies, that's all. Tertius, you know. Didn't you come to my shop? Didn't I give this weapon back to you 2 days before Caius was killed? Can you lie about such a thing? Why, the very coins you paid me are in my house now. I can get them. I can prove it.
Money bears no mark of ownership. Tertius, you seem to be evading the man's charges. Why?
I have nothing to evade. The man lies, and someone must fling the lie in his teeth.
It's true there's lying going on here, but I'm not so sure now as to who's guilty.
Surely you don't believe them.
Tertius, you never told me before that this weapon once belonged to you, did you?
It wasn't important.
Wasn't it? And why did you make sure to tell me it was last in Joshua's possession? You yourself accused him, led me to suspect him. Now I hear the weapon was returned to you before Caius was killed. Is that true? You tried to deceive me, make a fool of me?
Please, you're joking me.
I want the truth, Tertius, the truth.
All right, only let me go. Let me free you.
Now, talk.
It's true. True. The weapon is mine. I did get it back 2 days before Caius was killed.
Then you...
Caius was a cruel man. Too hard with the men who served under him. We were beaten for the slightest infraction of rules. Some were even killed. I myself sent reports back to Rome saying those men died in the line of duty. It wasn't true. I couldn't bear it any longer. I had to put an end to it. And to him.
So you threw suspicion on an innocent man.
It seemed so easy. Joshua, he'd had the sword. I made sure to tell that to many of the men. Then, on the day I got the sword back from him, we talked. I knew he was leaving town. That would throw suspicion on him even more strongly. I even figured out they'd try to warn him, and he'd never dare come back and face death. That would prove his guilt. No one would suspect me. They did warn him. But somehow, for some strange reason, he did come back.
Yes. And if he hadn't done it, innocent men would have been killed. I was determined to punish someone. Now it shall be you, Tertius.
I don't care. Not anymore.
So, Joshua, you men may leave now. From this moment forward, military justice will avenge this death.
Well, Joshua, look about you. This is once more a peaceful town. No longer do the people cower, nor hide fearfully in their homes. There's laughter now, not the sounds of mourning as there would have been. You were brave, my friend.
No, Saul, not brave. Just believing and confident in the Master's words. If I had run away, I might have saved my life. But I would have been untrue to the Master's word and undeserving of his teaching. I only offered my life for my friends, as he said. You remember Benjamin?
Yes. And as it turned out, you were the only one who could have known what really happened. The only one who could prove that our people had nothing to do with this crime.
Yes, Benjamin. Many lives have been spared. Good men will live on because of the Master's words.
which are strong words and true words for all men to remember.
This is my commandment, that ye love one another, as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend.
Listening to This Is My Commandment, another episode in the greatest story ever told from the greatest life ever lived.